Alright, hello, welcome to another video. This video is going to kind of go over the final assignment for our personal narrative or creative nonfiction. I want to go over the assignment, I'm going to go over beginnings and endings, and also there's some more questions that you could answer to help get you going, okay? So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to go over here to personal narrative. Click on personal narrative. Don't click on the 10-year reunion underneath it. The document used to be here. I shared it with everyone, so it's on your Google Drive. But I'm also going to put it down here. And so you're going to go to create a nonfiction assignment for spring 2014. And you can click on that. And it'll open up for you in a similar way. Like I said, I shared it with you. So let's just go over this really quick. So that way you guys kind of know what's going on. So, over the last couple of weeks, we've been doing these kind of smaller assignments to get ready for this big assignment. A couple things that I really wanted to go over. I want to go over dialogue, which we did. If you click on the link, you can actually go to the other Google document that has the 8 tips for dialogue and to see what you do well and what you shouldn't do. Another thing that we did, we went over imagery and the senses and how to use those in your writing and how to be descriptive. I don't think I sent back those yet, so I'm going to talk about it just really quickly. Um, I'll hand those back tomorrow. And Doug, I'll scan yours and I'll send it to you. And pretty much what those have on it is if anyone was remotely similar or not specific enough, I crossed it off. And the reason for that is the scenario, was you're outside and your child's in the street and there's a car coming. Well, almost everyone put down, there was a barbecue, things were on the grill, you were drinking like an iced tea or a lemonade. And so those are not original. Anyone can write that. And so when you're doing your own imagery, make sure that you are um, you're descriptive, but you're also unique. Don't stick to cliches. Okay? So we went over dialogue, we went over imagery, and then you also did some journals to help get your mind going for the assignment. And it was really interesting to see who took those seriously versus who didn't. Because the ones who took it seriously, there was like one or two journals where I was just like, wow, oh, there was something there that you could work with for this final assignment. While the others that you just kind of wrote, I'm just writing something because I don't really know what to write. And I don't know how that's gonna go over on the video. And so take this seriously, okay? This is a writing assignment that's supposed to help you discover something. And I'm also gonna write with you guys, just so you know. Um, just because I have this idea and I don't know how to put it in the words yet, and so I need to figure that out while you're figuring it out. And so while you're going through some of the struggles, I can kind of see those ahead of time and help you kind of get over them. And so I'll be working on this with you as well. So your assignment is you are going to write a creative nonfiction piece about your life that meets the following criteria. The first thing is that it must be of the past and it must be authentic. Today I had a conversation with Adam about, well, we can make stuff up. Yes and no. You can make up some of the smaller details because let's say you're going to have about, like, for instance, one of mine was a conversation my friends and I had while we were on a road trip. I don't know exactly word for word what was said, but I know my friends well enough that I kind of created a fake conversation that kind of tied in all of our like inside jokes and stuff into, one conversation. If you're gonna do it about, going to a funeral or going to a wedding or something, you're not going to know exactly all the details of that wedding or the funeral. So you have the creative freedom to make some of those things up. So yeah, you want to stay true to what happened, but at the same time, if you don't know the details and you can't find them out because no one's gonna know those small details, then make them up for the benefit of us, the reader. This is not nonfiction. This is not fiction. It's kind of its own genre. So make sure that you kind of stick to that. The piece must have an implied thesis statement, meaning um, you guys read A Hanging, and the event, the one event in it was that there was the guy being hung. That was all the event was about. Okay, but Orwell did a really good job of making it about capital punishment in general. I'm not gonna finish that. About capital punishment and how it's inhumane, in his opinion, it's inhumane to kill someone who is completely healthy, and how we're treating these people like animals and stuff like that. And just kind of the absurdity of killing someone. They're all laughing at the guy at the end because he does not want to get out of his cage, and it's like, well, yeah, I wouldn't either. And it's like, so I didn't understand. I don't understand why they're laughing because it's a terrible subject. And so I think Orwell did a really good job of that. Now yours don't have to be that big of an idea, and it could be a personal thesis statement. Um, I want to use Adam as an example again today. We were talking about his journals, and one of his journals was about how he signed up for the army and how all these little moments throughout his life kind of convinced him to do that. And I thought it would be cool for him if he would do the event would be the actual signing, but then he would have flashbacks going back into other parts of his life. And so that's just something that he could do and that he could work with. And we'll talk about flashbacks and stuff later on. But so it's a small event that goes to a big event. Okay? So that's what this one means, number two. Alright. The piece must be in first person, which it should be, and it must contain correct dialogue and the correct use of dialogue. Is what I meant by that. And once again, and so remember, there's going to be kind of two characters of you. I really need to get like a pad or something. Two characters. There's going to be the you back then in the past, and there's going to be the present you, the one who's writing this. So here's the one doing the writing, and here's the one that's being written about. And so you're going to have two different characters in the first person, and you're going to be kind of reflecting. And that's what that act of discovery is. And also, the piece must contain all of the elements. And when I say all, I don't mean all, I mean most of the elements of a creative nonfiction piece of work that we had discussed in the previous video. So go back and watch the video, the link is right there. And that way you can, and take notes over it. I said to take notes during it. And there's, 7 to 10 things that you need to cover. And some of them are up here. But some of the smaller ones you need to go back and look at as well. This next part I feel is very important because I've never done it this way before. And so I want to try it. And I want to see if it works. You'll be working on this at your own pace. But, oh, jeez, I did honest twice. But you will need to schedule times to meet with me. So you're going to go to this website, and I'm going to put a link on the other webpage, so that way you can go to it a lot easier. Let me copy and paste this, or let's just go to it. All right. It's calendly.com/NTLaRue. And so when you go to it, it's going to look like this. And right here is creative writing times. And what you're going to do, you're going to click on that. And, okay. And this is going to pop up. And this works on your Kunos. I've only used Chrome on it, so I would use Chrome. And it'll tell you how many spots are open in the AM and in the PM. And so I'm just going to click on both of them just to kind of show you. So in the morning, if you want to meet at 7:30 because you're here early anyway, then sign up for it. I'll meet you here. And so it's 20-minute sessions. And so this is all early bird right here. I also have first hour free because that's my planning period. So that's that to this. And then I also have a third hour study hall, which is this time right here. In the afternoons, when you guys have class, is around this time. It looks like someone's already signed up for some stuff. And then also after school. Doug, I want you to set up times with me as well. If you want to meet at different times though, like if you want to Skype with me, or we can set up a chat room, we can do that as well. Okay. I just want to make sure that you're on the same page as us. All right. So there's Calendly. This is what it is. So once you select a time, I'm just going to do 7:30 because no one ever does early. You're going to go here. You're going to put in your first name and last name, your email address, and it says your phone number. I don't need it at all, so just put in that, and then go schedule event, and then there'll be an email that goes to me. And then if you put in your right email address, an email will go to you, and it'll also remind you that it is. Now, I wouldn't set these up right now. I would wait until you're done with the certain task and then set it up. That way, because I think Adam, again, today, he set up like 3 times already. And it's like, well, don't do that because what if you're not done? And so set it up afterwards, okay? All right, going back here. Here are the 3 times that I want to meet you. I want to meet you after you're done brainstorming. I want to make sure that your story has enough there to make it a decent creative nonfiction piece. I want to make sure that you have it well thought out. And I kind of just want to know what you're writing about. Okay. If you're worried that you might not have enough for one thing, maybe bring 2 or 3 different ideas, and that way we can kind of go over them and discuss them. Um, Last semester, I had a student. We didn't do this. We did kind of personal narratives over other people and stuff like that. And I had a student who had like 4 ideas, and they were all really good ideas. But it was like, well, which one can you do research for? Which one can you interview people? And so we'll kind of do the same thing with this. You know, you bring in 2 ideas. I'll ask you questions about them. We'll figure it out. Okay. Outlining. So once you're done brainstorming, I want you to outline. And I know those sound kind of similar, but I want to see that you're on the right track. Um, I want to see how you're going to begin your story, what kind of narrative you're using, and making sure that you have all the details. Because maybe there's something that you're missing that I can help out with. The next one is a polished second draft. And I say second draft because once you are done writing your first draft, you are then going to have 2 people look at your draft. And it's your responsibility to do this. So make sure Doug gets involved as well. You can email him. Make sure you're working on this during class because, I mean, I'm doing this class for you guys, and so make sure you're actually taking the time to do this. Once you have your first draft looked at by two different people, revise it, edit, make it better, and then you'll come to me. And then I'll read it. I'm gonna ask you questions. I'm gonna write stuff on it, and I will help you make it better for a final draft. I thought when I was at UNI, I had a whole class devoted to this kind of genre, and our professor did this kind of thing. Like we brought it in. He looked it over. He wrote notes. He said, "Well, what if you do this?" Never said, you have to do it, but it like every time he had a suggestion for me, it made it so much better. And then once you're done with that, you're gonna revise it again and turn it in for a grade. So hopefully by the time you turn it in, it'll be your third draft, and it'll be very decent. Okay? The due date, March 31st. Write this down somewhere. March 31st. Okay? March 21st. Sorry, 21st. March 21st. Right there. Okay? So, yeah, that's 2.5 weeks away. Don't wait till the last minute to do this assignment, okay? If you get done early with it, you need to be working on your website and making sure that gets done. There's a lot of parts that you can work on right now. You can work on me as a community member, me as a family member, me in the working world, all that kind of stuff, okay? Um, so yeah, that's the assignment. I'm gonna cut this video and then I'll do another video over beginnings and endings. So you'll have two videos to watch tomorrow, okay? So thank you for watching and go watch the other video.